Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're here to talk about my top 10 underrated games on the Oculus Quest 2 slash Oculus Quest Pro, whichever way you want to do it. And these games are obviously games that have flown under the radar. These games could be games that maybe have come out a long time ago or are not being talked about anymore that I think should be. Or maybe they came out a couple of months ago, but maybe they just didn't get the attention I thought they deserved. Whatever the category may fall into, these are the top 10 underrated games that I think aren't being talked about anymore. And I think should be, because I think they're really fun games. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a brekkie is the gaming tech. Gaming tech is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so the first one here coming in at number 10 is Racket Nx. So Racket Nx, if you guys think of like the game Breakout that we're all familiar with, and you kind of take that and put that in combination with racquetball, that's what Racket Nx feels like. It's so much fun. They do have single player modes where you can play through a campaign, and there's even an endless runner kind of thing where you're trying to get the highest score, and you're hitting the ball off your racket onto this like whole entire dome around you, trying to hit it in different spots that you're asked for, and obviously scoring as many points as possible. There even is competitive multiplayer where you can actually play against other people online, and it is really intense and really fun. The music track in this is fantastic, and I think it's a game that a lot of people have stopped talking about. It's still just as fun as it was when it came out, and Racket Nx has been one that I really love playing. It's definitely a really good workout too, with the way the ball spins all over the place and you're trying to hit everything. So Racket Nx coming in at number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Coaster Combat. Coaster Combat has actually been around for a really long time. I remember this game actually came out originally on the Oculus Go, and they ported it over and brought it to obviously the Quest 2. This is done by Oculus Studios, and it's still one of my favorite games because I love obviously roller coasters in general, and I love showing people roller coasters once they get their VR legs under them, because people love roller coasters in real life. And this one, you can either just ride the roller coaster if you want to, but what makes it called Coaster Combat is you're actually shooting things as you're riding the roller coaster, trying to get a high score, so it kind of adds a different feel. Still has all that same things you love about riding roller coasters, the dips, the turns, the heights, all that kind of stuff is there, but with the addition of being able to actually get a score based on shooting things as you're riding the track, challenging other players on leaderboards and stuff like that. It's a ton of fun. Even though it's been out for a really long time, it's still one I go back to show friends because it's made so well. Graphics are also fantastic in this one, and it's just a fun experience to be able to ride a roller coaster in VR and then take it that next level and, shoot things as you're going through the levels. Really cool, really fun game, guys. Check out Coaster Combat coming in at number 9. The next one on this list coming in at number 8 is Dash Dash World. Dash Dash World is a game that's been around for a really long time, and I always talked about this game, and it still didn't get the attention it deserved in my opinion, because it's made super well in my opinion. And of course, it is a kart racer, kind of like Mario Kart in VR, and that's exactly what I built this game to be. It has everything you could want in a Mario Kart racer, has really unique tracks, and they supported this game with a lot of free tracks for a long time. I can't wait to see what these devs do next, because it seems like the updates have stopped, but it doesn't matter because everything is already fully featured. They have a bunch of tracks, a bunch of different weapons to throw at each other. The racing feels good, a lot of different options on how you want to control the cart, whether it's being in the cart or being in third person, first person. How you control the car is all up to you, and there's a bunch of different options for comfort and everything. A full campaign, so you can play the campaign as well. The graphics are so well done. And like I said, it's one of the racing games that I always go back to because there's so much to actually do. There's, of course, online multiplayer that you can play with your friends as well if you want. Like I said, the game has everything you could want in a kart racer. The tracks are really varied, which is the most important thing. What really stood out to me, they were really unique and varied. They didn't follow any sort of pattern, kind of like what we love about Mario Kart, that the tracks all feel unique. This one felt unique. They have extreme tracks, and you're kind of just jumping off of things in VR and all that kind of stuff. So once you have your VR legs, this is definitely one that went under the radar, in my opinion, for a lot of people. And it's still one I have a blast today, even though it came out a long time ago. That is Dash Dash World, coming in at number 8. The next one on this list coming in at number 7 is Loco Dojo Unleashed. So Loco Dojo was actually a game that originally came out on PC that I really liked back in the day. And I'm super happy that they brought it over to the Oculus Quest, because there's nothing like it on here. Think about Mario Party in VR. So this has 16 different mini games that you actually play. You have a board in front of you trying to get the highest rank. By getting, I believe, black belt being the highest, and they want, you're going around the board doing all these different things, landing on different things, and then playing mini games against each other. Of course, there is AI play in here, and you can do that, but of course, the biggest fun you're going to get from this game is being able to play with friends. There's even, besides just the online multiplayer, you can also do pass and play as well, which is fantastic. so you can play this game locally with other players, which is really fun. And the mini games are all really well done and really fun. They definitely take advantage of VR, and it is a ton of fun to play. It's definitely the best VR party game I've come across, or at least in the top 3 that I really like playing. And it's definitely one that went under the radar, like I said, that a lot of people didn't really check out, and that's something that needs to change because it's done really well. I hope that they one day add an update to it. Loco Dojo Unleashed at number 7. The next one on this list coming in at number 6 is Tentacular. So if you guys are fans of games like Virtual Reality, the first one that actually came out, this is kind of in that vein, except this game just brings up the hilarity and stuff to an even further level. Basically, you have these tentacles as your hands, and they give you, there's over 50 different campaign missions that you're playing through, and they all make you do these wacky things. Like one of them maybe making you stack things. That's obviously going to be really hard using these hands. Some of them make you explode things. You may have to take out the trash and put and sort them in different trash bins. All of these different wacky things that you're kind of doing throughout these different campaign missions to keep these things unique. But it's so much fun to play, and using these hands to just like destroy things and stuff, and makes you really feel powerful. And it's just a really unique game and really cool. Like I said, for fans of virtual reality that was out before, this is kind of in that same space and in that same vein, and it's definitely one that I think went under the radar as well. It's super fun, very unique. Not obviously a lot of games like this where you have giant tentacle as hands and doing all these unique missions. Definitely something I recommend you guys check out if you're into games like this. Tentacular coming in at number 6. Alright guys, the next one here coming in at number 5 is Blaze Rush Star Trek. So this is a game that we all remember from the Oculus Go days, that it was ported over to the Quest 2. And it is a fantastic game then, and it is still fantastic now. And now with even more content, where now they added the racetrack space on being in space and stuff, which is really cool. There's a lot of variety here. They have online multiplayer as well in this one. They have over 30 missions to do in campaign, a lot of different vehicles, a lot of different weapons like lasers, mines, and stuff to kind of kill each other off the track. It's obviously a top-down racer, really unique, and there's not a lot of games like this that are obviously top-down like this, and it's super fun to play. A lot of vibrant racetracks that they put into this game, and a lot of variety in the cars and the weapons. So it's definitely one I definitely urge you guys to check out if you're into top-down racers like this. Blaze Rush Star Trek coming in at number 5. The next one here coming in at number 4 is Wands Alliances, another one that we probably recognize from the Oculus Go days, but this is a completely revamped game that was ported over to the Quest 2 here by them. And this is obviously the same Wands gameplay that we're all used to loving, where you have these wands and you have all of these unique spells and you can customize your wands with all of these different things. But this brings 3v3 multiplayer, and this is one of the most competitive games that you can play online in VR, in my opinion, right now, with these wands. The PvP is so much fun. They did have an update already in October where they added even more spells that you can have. They had a team deathmatch as well, so hopefully this is something that they continue updating in the future, keep the community alive. But it's really fun, really unique. Again, not anything like this in VR, with being able to dual wield, feel like Harry Potter in VR here, dual wielding and destroying your enemies, and have all these unique locations that you're playing in. But customization is key here, and there's a lot of different spells that you can use. All of these do the unique things, and that's exactly what this game does, but brings it in 3v3 multiplayer form now on the Quest 2. Wands Alliances, definitely recommend you guys check this one out, especially if you were a fan of the original game, coming in at number 4. The next one on this list coming in at number 3 is Ultimex. Ultimex is a free game and is a ton of fun, especially if you guys are fans of games like Rocket League and stuff like that, which I am, where this basically combines Rocket League with big mechs, and it is exactly what it sounds like, and it's so much fun. There's 2 goals. You're obviously on one team versus another, and you're all of these giant mechs, and you're trying to throw or punch the ball into the opposing team's goal. It is so much fun. The 2v2 competition is also is a lot of fun. There is also 1v1 play if you want to do that as well. But 2v2 is the competitive mode and the way I love playing it. This is from Resolution Games that we all know they love. They make great games for VR and have been for a long time now. And this is another one that I don't think is getting a lot of attention, even especially because it's free, and it's so much fun to play. I love Rocket League and I love games like that in VR, and this gives me a whole new different feel with being in these gigantic mechs with these powerful robots and stuff like that with these arms and stuff, and kind of playing this game in a kind of unique way that hasn't been done before. And it's definitely one I urge you guys to check out if you're into games like this and competitive multiplayer like this. Ultimex coming in at number 3. The next one on this list coming in at number 2 is Crisis Brigade 2 Reloaded. So this is a game that started off in App Labs, and I'm super happy that it's now in the official store, because this game is fantastic. If you guys are into games like Time Crisis and stuff like that, where you're going through levels and obviously shooting the enemies and try and do it as fast as possible and trying to stay alive, then this is the game for you. They have a lot of unique levels to play in here, and the levels are really long too. They're not like 30 seconds long or anything like that. Going through all these different unique locales, all these different weapons that you're trying to unlock. Even has cooperative multiplayer as well, which is a ton of fun to be able to play these, like, you know, Time Crisis type levels in VR with another person. And it is another one that I think has flied underneath the radar. This game is so much fun, especially in multiplayer with your friends. Going through all these levels, unlocking different weapons, and kind of going through and trying to beat these levels and get the highest score possible on the local leaderboards. That is Crisis Brigade 2 Reloaded, coming in at number 2. And the first one here coming in at number 1 is going to be Blast On. Blast On is such a fun game. I've been playing it for years now, since it came out, because it's been out for a couple of years, I believe, at this point. And it is a competitive workout game. Let me tell you, it definitely works your whole body out. But it's basically a 1v1 dueling game where both of you guys are on a platform and you're grabbing all these different weapons. It's kind of like a bullet hell shooter where one person has all these weapons, throwing all these different bullets at you, and you're dodging and dipping out of the way, and you're trying to shoot all your different weapons and loadouts at them, and you're kind of dodging and dipping out of those. It's a really unique game in VR. It's a lot of fun, and obviously there's a lot of customizability with the weapons and stuff. But what's also a shining example is also the social aspect of this game that they've taken to with updates and more, where you have all these different lobbies that you can go into on different floors, and there's different things that you can do, like playing arcade games. You can do local tournaments right there, where you have like a bracket tournament with up to 8 players in the same room, and you kind of can watch the matches, and then obviously whoever wins continues, and then you go through the brackets. It's a ton of fun to play with friends. A lot of customizability in this game. I love the social hangouts that they've created in this game as well. Blast On, my number 1. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed that list of my top 10 underrated games on the Oculus Quest 2 and Oculus Quest Pro. I hope you guys had fun with that on your Christmas list, to go ahead and check out some of the older titles or some games that maybe a lot of people aren't talking about on YouTube that I think deserve that attention. So these are the games that I came up with. If you guys have any of your own games that you think should be on this list that you think are underrated and kind of flowing underneath the radar, make sure to leave those comments down below so other people can see it. Other than that, guys, if you guys have any questions, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.